What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. As we're in the silent depression, if you've seen my previous video on that, it seems like this is really starting to sink in. Take a look here as this UAW strike is really starting to get worse and worse here. UAW targets 38 facilities at GM and Stellantis for expanded strikes across 20 different states. Yeah, this is really starting to become a significant problem. And the thing that really threw me for a loop is that the United Auto Workers said it's prepared to strike for months in the leaked messages. We're also seeing here now the major company Rite Aid to close hundreds of stores in bankruptcy. Rite Aid obviously has been around for, to me, what feels like forever, a staple of, I feel like Rite Aid's been around since I was a kid. Rite Aid will reportedly close 400 to 500 stores as it plans to file for bankruptcy, the Wall Street Journal reported. And I feel like this is a problem of everything coming together. Higher wages, higher theft, higher inflation, and the silent depression all coming to a culmination. We're seeing this with the economy and just it's a really tough out there. Yeah, pharmacy giant Rite Aid is negotiating terms of a bankruptcy plan that could see a significant number of its more than 2,100 drugstores permanently close, according to a report. And I feel like the UAW needs to be careful here so that they don't send GM into bankruptcy again. When GM had to declare bankruptcy back in 2009 on over almost 250,000 GM employees and almost $100 billion in debt at the time. So be careful what you wish for, because now you see what's happening here. Rite Aid having to close hundreds of stores in their new bankruptcy. Yeah, people familiar with the company's talks with creditors told the Wall Street Journal that Rite Aid has proposed to close as many as 500 stores in bankruptcy and either sell or just let the creditors take over its remaining operations. If they're losing money, I don't even know if the creditors will want to take over something that's losing money. One group of bondholders wants to liquidate a larger number of stores, and there's an ongoing discussion on the number of stores to be closed, the Wall Street Journal reported. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal previously reported that Rite Aid plans to file for bankruptcy protection as the company faces more than $3.3 billion in debt and over 1,000 federal lawsuits over its alleged role in the opioid epidemic. I personally feel that suing a pharmacy like Rite Aid or CVS or something like that over the opioids is completely BS. If they have a prescription and the company fills it, how can you sue them for that? I mean, unless they're literally like getting it illegally from Rite Aid or CVS or something like that, that's a different story. But I don't think that's what's happening here. I think that these people are just sue happy. I mean, if they're filling a prescription, what is there to sue them over? And I feel like the problem is that they're making these prescriptions really hard for people that need it. And it's becoming a problem for the people that are in pain. You can let me know your thoughts on this. Yeah. Yeah, Rite Aid has denied allegations that it has filled an unlawful prescription. A bankruptcy filing would halt these suits for the time being and provide the company with another pathway to resolve them. Again, we live in such a sue-happy society. You know, causing some of these companies that to just go bankrupt over crazy stuff. And that's another problem we have here in America is that there's so many different things here. Is that I feel like you know opioids have been a such a wonderful thing for people that have pain, and the problem is that they're making it inaccessible for people that even get them at this point because of all these lawsuits, and even a lot of it is coming from the Department of Justice and the government suing for billions and millions of dollars. And then the other issue here is that the cost of prescriptions and healthcare and that stuff just becoming crazy where the average everyday person can't even afford a lot of healthcare. A lot of these things are just getting way too out of control. And it's like, how do we even fix this stuff? And and again, this is where Congress is supposed to step in. But again, you have Republicans and Democrats in Congress that are supposed to not just line their pockets and not just go after each other, Republicans going after Democrats, Democrats going after Republicans, Republicans going after Democrats, and just trying to make the other side look bad and just trying to win the next election. And that's rinse and repeat and blame the other side, but actually trying to get some stuff done for Americans, so we're not paying $20,000 a year for healthcare, which is what some people only make, like people on Social Security, and send our country into debt. And, we pay 2 or 3 times more than any other country for healthcare. And it feels like Congress gets nothing to very little done every single year, and yet they want you to reelect them every year. Or they have these crazy promises like, elect me and I'll give you $2 a gallon gas, and they'll get elected, and then, oh, $2 a gallon gas won't come, and then, oh, well, it's not my fault, it's the previous guy's fault. And then you actually see some stuff like a bill will come up to actually try to say reduce prices against pharmaceutical companies, and then the pharmaceutical companies will actually lobby against it. And then it's just like, this is the problem, right? It's actually such an absolute nightmare. And it's like, you actually get people believing that lower pharmaceutical prices would not be a good thing for Americans. Lower healthcare costs would not be a good thing for Americans. And you got to remember that Congress can't decide on anything. They can't even decide to fix Social Security. Years and years go by, nothing gets done. And take my word for it, guys, that probably Social Security getting fixed is going to drag on, drag on, drag on, drag on. And probably it's going to, every month that goes by, the Social Security Trust Fund, the amount of money in the Social Security Savings Account Trust Fund, just keeps getting whittled down. Like, and people really don't even understand how bad this is, that it's running out of money month by month. And I don't even know what they're going to do, because what happens here is that if they get close enough, or if Social Security literally runs out of money, that basically what will happen is, there'll be no more money left, and then only the money that comes in on a monthly basis will have to be sent out immediately, and that'll be like a 23 to 24% reduction on payments, because there'll be no more money left in there. And if they don't do that, then or if they fix it like close to the time period, which is probably a very likely scenario, we're still going to have a significant reduction to payments. And then you know what will happen? they'll blame each other. It's not our fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's not the Democrats' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. And so on and so forth. And it'll be like this big to do. But the problem is like we're talking about this now, 9 years ahead of time. We were talking about last year, 10 years ahead of time. And they should have fixed this for years and years and years. And here's like one of the real problems is you got both Biden and Trump saying that they're not going to touch Social Security. They're not going to touch Social Security. And I can't remember who it was. It's a Republican senator. I think Bill Cassidy or somebody. I can't even remember who it was, but he really said it the best. This is where it really comes down to it. I'm not really from either side, but this particular guy said it the best. I think it was Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. He said it, and both these guys are wrong because they do need to change Social Security. They can't leave it alone. Because if they don't make changes to it, if they don't either raise the retirement age a little bit or tax the people that are paying into Social Security, take a little bit more out of their paychecks to pay into it more, or tax the wealthy individuals by making them pay a little bit more money into Social Security, change the parameters a little bit, it's going to run out of money. It's going to run out of money. And then that doesn't mean that people are going to stop getting their Social Security checks. It'll just mean that the money that goes into it every month will have to go out immediately. There'll be no extra savings left in the Social Security checking account, basically, Social Security trust fund. And that will mean a 23% reduction in benefits based on CBO estimates. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Now, remember, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 100 years ago or something, a little bit less than that, that there was no Social Security trust fund. Social Security didn't exist. So just remember that it was only a lifetime ago that people didn't even have Social Security. People didn't even have it. So don't think that this isn't mind-blowing stuff because not that long ago in the Great Depression and right after the Great Depression, it didn't even exist. And when they were trying to pass Social Security, FDR, they there was a lot of people that said, no, we should not pass Social Security. This is socialism. This is socialism, Social Security. They said, this is socialism. We should not pass this. And there was a lot of people that were against it. There was a lot of people that were actually against passing seatbelts when they passed seatbelts. They said people said this was communism. And there was a lot of people that said that this is that we were against passing drinking and driving when this was happening. There's actually commercials when drinking and driving, when they were trying to pass laws against, drinking and driving and having to wear a seatbelt, that this is way too much government intervention when this happened. And there's actually commercials out there of people them interviewing people that said, we should be allowed to just drink a few beers on our way home from work. This is what happens if I just want to relax and kick back and drink a few beers on my way home from work? And why should I have to wear a seatbelt? You got to remember here that things need adjusted and changed from time to time. I know it seems really radical and to think of that, but you got to sometimes adjust things a little bit. And Social Security and the Medicare Trust Fund are going to need adjusted. Remember, it wasn't that long ago, one lifetime ago, not even, that Social Security didn't even exist. And remember, right now, 50% of Americans go into retirement with only Social Security. They have no other savings but Social Security. And that's that. Even that's a problem because Social Security does not provide really that much. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here. I'm just the voice of reason. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just a realist. This is just what's happening here on a daily basis. Yeah. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell icon. I'll keep you up to date. New videos come out here every day, normally at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're actually in the process of traveling here for my wife's kidney surgery. Yeah, so I'm actually filming this video here right before we travel. Yeah, so I'll keep you up to date. God bless you all. Hopes and prayers that my wife's kidney surgery goes well, and I will keep you up to date. So, yeah, You can click here to see my newest video with Colonel Tony Shaffer. Really good video there about everything happening here that you need to know about in the war. Or you can click here to see my newest video, or click here to see my newest video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.